Ad-Dajjal, that I know where he is, where he's going to exit. My sending and the coming of the hour is like these two fingers. 10 major signs of the day of judgment. The prelude to that is Al-Mahdi. So those 10 signs that we find are mentioned is the Antichrist, the descending of the coming down of Isa alayhi salam, Ya'juj and Ma'juj. And we find 3 signs of sinking of the earth that will take place in the east, in the west, and inside the Arabian Peninsula. Ad-Dukhan, the smoke that will come, as we mentioned inside Surah Ad-Dukhan. The rising of the sun from the west. Ad-Daba, the beast that will come out and speak to people, is mentioned at Surah An-Naml, and the fire that will gather the people. And the Prophet he mentioned that there's going to be, towards the end of time, approximately 30 Dajjalun, 30 false liars before the coming of the day of judgment. And some people believe the system that we live around at the moment, or the new world order, that's what Ad-Dajjal is. Oh, Dajjal in the beginning times of modern technology, people said the TV is Dajjal, then the video was Dajjal, then the satellite system is a Dajjal. These are all things which have been documented that people thought. Also, we find some people believe currency. You look at a $1 bill, you find the one eye on top of the pyramid or whatever. So in today's language, we find the matrix. Those of you who haven't broken free from the matrix and to be with top G, whatever it may be at the moment. Some people think that we have to break the matrix. All these are just thoughts and ideas that people believe in. But in the hadith, it mentioned that Dajjal, he is a man, a human being. When the ulama say Ad-Dajjal with the lam ta'rif, with a definite article, then it means the one Dajjal that will come at the end. It's totally clear and recognizable who Ad-Dajjal is. So you don't need a great deep study to understand who Ad-Dajjal is. A basic Muslim will be able to recognize who Ad-Dajjal is and be able to recognize that this individual who's trying to claim to be an ilah, to be a god, to be a deity, cannot be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because all the defects all shows that this individual has no right to claim any form of being a deity in any right or any manner. We find the Prophet, as I mentioned, I'm going to warn you about this individual, and there has not been any prophet that came before except he warned his people about this individual. But I'm going to give you some information that no other prophet ever spoke about this information about Ad-Dajjal. Indeed, he is blind, defect, or he's one-eyed, and your Lord is not one-eyed. There's been no greater creation or trial or tribulation since the beginning of Adam until the end of time will be Ad-Dajjal. His right eye will be protruding like a grape, will be like popping out, will be his right eye, and his left eye will have a skin covering over it. Other ulama mentioned that in the Muslim Imam Ahmad that he has a wide forehead, a broad upper chest, hunchbacked individual, defective legs as well. And be written on the front of his forehead will be the word kafir, or in other narration mentioned, the harf kaf, fa, ra, will be imprinted on his forehead. Every Muslim is going to be able to read this. Likewise, he's going to have twisted cropped hair. He's going to be barren. He's not going to have any children. Also, is Dajjal living at this moment in time? And we're going to speak about the hadith of Tamim ad-Dari, that he is actually living at this time. Tamim ad-Dari was a Christian individual who entered Islam in the 9th year of the Islamic calendar inside Medina. Fatima bint Qais mentions that the communal prayer was announced. So we came out and we offered the prayer behind the Prophet ﷺ. And he said to everybody, remain behind. Indeed, I want to tell you something. So he mentioned that Tamim ad-Dari said that we were on an expedition on a boat, and we were tossed around by the storm and the wind in the ocean for some 30 days. Till eventually we saw an island at a distance. And so we took a small boat, and some of us, we embarked that small boat, like a canoe or a small raft, and we took that boat and we came to the island. When we landed upon the island, we saw like a beast, Jassasa, this beast, la na'rif qublahu min duburahu, we don't know his front from his back. So this talking beast, and he's there in front of us, and obviously we were frightened at seeing this individual on this island. And he said that indeed there's someone who's waiting. We thought it was a devil, we were scared. He said indeed there's somebody who's waiting who wants to meet you inside this monastery, inside this cave. So we entered inside this area. There was a well-built individual who was there. And we find that his neck was tied, and there were shackles placed around his neck and gripping his legs and his ankles. So this individual then asked him certain questions. He asked him about the date palm trees of Baysan, the lake of Tabariya. He asked him about the spring of Zukhar. So he asked all these questions about all these different locations. Then he asked them, has the unlettered prophet, has he come out? And they said, yes, he has exited. And he asked, is there victory for him or victory for him, the days for them, days for him? And he said that shortly it will be given permission for me to be released, to leave. Indeed, inni ana al-Masih. Indeed, I am, yani ad-Dajjal. Then we come to Ibn Sayyad. Ibn Sayyad was this young individual born inside Medina at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Certain things were given to this individual. He was basically a soothsayer or type of magician that he was, that he used to see certain things or the jinn used to come to him. So some of the companions began to believe that he is Ad-Dajjal. So the Prophet ﷺ, and he approached him and asked him that, what do you see? He says that I see a throne, sometimes the truth is told to me, sometimes a lie is told to me. So all this is showing that there's some form of usage of jinn entering upon him or coming to him or whispering is being said to him. And on one occasion, the Prophet ﷺ is approaching him and he's got his back turned to the Prophet ﷺ. His mother calls out that Muhammad is coming, Muhammad is coming. He quickly turns around. So the Prophet ﷺ says to him that, what am I concealing? So certain verses the Prophet ﷺ has got him in his mind. Verse from Surah Al-Dukhan, the 44th chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Dukhan. Ad-Dukhan is one of the 10 signs of their judgment, that the smoke will come. So you should test this individual, how much of the contact of the jinn does he have? He said ad-dukh. So he's able to pick up some of the information. So this individual was a dupestar, that he's able to gain this knowledge, but he wasn't able to understand. The Prophet is proving that you can't see the unseen. You can't see what's been given to me. So he said to him, Ihsa ya adu Allah. And basically he said, just get lost. And the Prophet was very rarely was he harsh to the individual. You're an enemy of Allah. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri met him at a later stage and he was apprehensive to sit with him. He offered him some milk, something to drink, to eat. And Abu Sa'id al-Khudri wanted to get away from him, didn't want to drink with him. Because why? Psychologically, in the back of their mind, Ibn Sayyad has been labeled as being a Dajjal. Ibn Sayyad himself says to Abu Sa'id al-Khudri that if I'm Dajjal, then how comes I've got children? How comes I'm being able to perform Hajj? And Abu Sa'id al-Khudri says that I felt some pity towards this individual. But then he made this statement that I know where he is, where he's going to exit. So now I thought that this individual, he's one form of Dajjal, because he must have some relationship with the jinn to be making this statement about Ad-Dajjal.